On September 14, 2007, a 14-year-old boy walked into King's Cross Station in London after traveling alone from his home in Doncaster. Security cameras captured him leaving the station at 11:25 a.m., walking purposefully into the crowded streets of one of the world's most surveilled cities. He has not been seen since. 17 years of investigation. Where did Andrew Gosden go? What began as a gifted student's unexplained trip to London became one of Britain's most baffling missing persons cases. The telephone rang through the Gosden household just after 7 o'clock on Friday evening. Charlotte walked toward her brother's bedroom, calling his name, expecting to find him hunched over his PlayStation. The room was empty. She checked the converted cellar. Empty. Console untouched. "Andrew's not here," she told her parents, voice edged with concern. Kevin glanced at the clock. "He's probably at a friend's house, lost track of time." But even as he said it, something felt wrong. Andrew never went anywhere without telling them first. Phone calls began. Andrew's small circle of friends, one by one. "No, haven't seen him. He wasn't at school today." Charlotte's voice rose. "What do you mean he wasn't at school?" The realization crystallized. Their son had left at 8:05 that morning and vanished. It was just a complete panic, Charlotte would later recall. "When we found he hadn't even tried to go to school, that was even more worrying." Andrew Paul Gosden was 14 years old, a student at Macaulay Catholic High School in Doncaster, South Yorkshire. Small for his age, perhaps 5 feet tall, 100 pounds, with light brown hair and a face that made him look closer to 12. He wore strong prescription glasses, was deaf in his left ear, had a distinctive double ridge on his right ear. Andrew was on the Young Gifted and Talented program, a student with 100% attendance expected to achieve straight A's. Teachers described him as a prize-winning mathematician destined for Cambridge, shy and quiet, mature beyond his years. But Andrew was what his family called a home bird, rarely left the house, never without explaining where he was going. Happy in his own company, content to spend hours playing video games or reading. His father described him as absent-minded, not streetwise, potentially vulnerable. Andrew had owned mobile phones but rarely used them, frequently lost them. When offered a replacement months before his disappearance, he said he'd prefer a new Xbox. He had no email address, no online accounts, no digital presence whatsoever. The Gosdens lived in Balby, a comfortable home on Littlemore Lane. Kevin and his wife were committed Christians who called Andrew Rue. The family was close, ate dinner together, washed dishes as a unit, assembled jigsaw puzzles, watched comedy shows. Andrew had stopped attending church 18 months earlier, and his parents respected that choice. He seemed content in the cocoon of their affection and routine. Andrew's interests centered on video games and metal music. He wore band t-shirts constantly, his favorite a black Slipknot shirt. He carried a black canvas satchel covered in patches from rock bands. Despite these interests, Andrew didn't socialize outside school. His small group of friends existed only within school boundaries. No weekend hangouts, no phone calls. This wasn't because of bullying or depression. He simply preferred his own company. Andrew knew London well. The family visited regularly to see grandparents, aunts, uncles. Andrew loved the city's museums. Natural History Museum, Science Museum, British Museum. Bus travel was free for children then, meaning Andrew could go anywhere without spending money. That summer, his parents had suggested he travel alone to London to stay with his grandmother. Andrew declined. He'd rather wait until the family could visit together. The week before September 14th had been unremarkable except for 2 deviations. Twice, Andrew told his parents he walked home from school instead of taking the bus. A 4-mile journey, 1 hour 20 minutes. No explanation, just a casual shrug. It meant nothing. Thursday evening, September 13th, unfolded with comfortable predictability. Family dinner, dishes washed together, jigsaw puzzle on the computer with his father for an hour. Andrew watched television with his mother, Mock the Week, that Mitchell and Webb look. Around 10, he went to bed. Parents heard familiar sounds of their son settling in. Everything normal? Everything safe? Everything suggesting Friday would be ordinary. But Friday morning brought the first crack. Andrew had difficulty waking, unusual irritability. His mother noticed immediately. Not like Andrew at all. But teenage moods were unpredictable, and she said nothing beyond usual reminders. At 8:05 a.m., Andrew left wearing his school uniform. A family friend saw him crossing Westfield Park toward his bus stop. Everything appeared routine. By 7 that evening, when Charlotte discovered his empty room and calls revealed the truth, the Gosden family understood nothing about that day had been routine. Andrew had not gone to school, and by the time they called police at 7 p.m., their son had been missing nearly 11 hours, the trail already cold. The reconstruction of Andrew's movements emerged slowly from CCTV footage and witness statements. What investigators discovered was not a confused teenager who wandered off, but a carefully planned operation executed with impossible precision for a boy described as absent-minded. At 8:05 Friday morning, Andrew left home in school uniform. The family friend saw him crossing Westfield Park, waved. Andrew waved back, everything normal. But at the park's edge, instead of continuing to his bus stop, Andrew turned a different direction entirely. He walked to a cash machine near town center, perhaps 10 minutes from his route. The transaction was recorded. 8:15 a.m., withdrawal of £200. Andrew's account held £214. Birthday and Christmas money saved. The machine only dispensed in £20 increments, limiting withdrawal to exactly 200. He took the money, pocketed it, then did something crucial. He went home. A neighbor's CCTV camera captured Andrew returning around 8:20 a.m., letting himself in with his key. Inside the empty house, Andrew executed his plan methodically. He removed his school uniform, placing it in the washing machine, hanging his blazer on his chair, changed into casual clothes, black jeans, black slipknot t-shirt, trainers, retrieved his black canvas satchel covered in band patches, packed, wallet with £200, house keys, PlayStation Portable. What Andrew didn't take was equally significant. Left his passport in a drawer, left approximately £100 cash in his room, didn't take the PSP charger, suggesting he didn't expect to be gone long enough to need it, didn't take a coat or sweatshirt despite unpredictable September weather. Everything suggested a short trip, hours, not days. At 8:30 a.m., the neighbor's camera captured Andrew leaving a second time, now in casual clothes, carrying his bag. He walked down Littlemore Lane toward Westfield Park, continuing toward Doncaster railway station roughly a mile away. The walk would take 15 to 20 minutes. No one who saw him came forward. Just another teenager walking through morning sunshine. Doncaster station was moderately busy. Andrew approached the ticket counter, spoke to the clerk. He wanted a ticket to London King's Cross. One way. Cost, £31.40. The clerk, following standard practice, informed Andrew that a return ticket cost only 50 pence more. For essentially nothing, Andrew could have a ticket home. Andrew insisted on the single, just one way to London. The clerk processed the transaction, handed over the ticket. This insistence would haunt investigators for years. It suggested either Andrew knew he wasn't coming back, or expected someone else to provide return transport, or simply wasn't thinking clearly. Which interpretation? No one could say. At 9:35 a.m., Andrew boarded the train to King's Cross. Platform cameras captured him walking along the train, black bag over shoulder, slipknot t-shirt visible, glasses catching morning light. He found a seat, settled in. A woman later came forward. She sat next to Andrew for part of the journey. She described him as quiet, well-behaved, completely absorbed in his PlayStation, blue screen light on his face. He didn't speak to anyone, didn't appear distressed. Just a teenage boy playing a game, looking perfectly ordinary. Meanwhile, in Doncaster, the first crack appeared. Morning registration at Macaulay Catholic High School. Andrew Gosden's name went unanswered. Teachers noted immediately, 100% attendance, never missed a day. Following protocol, an administrator called the number in Andrew's file. Voicemail picked up, left message about Andrew's absence. Polite, routine. Except critical error. Wrong family received the voicemail. 2 families with similar names in the database. Kevin and his wife at work had no idea their son hadn't arrived at school. Wouldn't know Andrew was missing until evening. By then, 10 crucial hours would have passed. The train journey took 1 hour 45 minutes. Andrew sat playing his game, watching countryside roll past. What was he thinking? Excited, nervous, scared, second thoughts? The woman beside him noticed nothing unusual, no distress, no conflict, just quiet, absorbed, self-contained. At 11:20 a.m., the train pulled into King's Cross Station, one of Britain's busiest railway stations. Massive Victorian structure handling hundreds of thousands daily. Main concourse. Vast space filled with shops, restaurants, constant movement. Also one of the most heavily surveilled spaces in Britain, CCTV cameras covering virtually every angle. At 11:25 a.m., one camera captured Andrew exiting through the main entrance. The footage would later be circulated everywhere. Small figure in black t-shirt and jeans, black bag over shoulder, posture slightly hunched, walking with apparent purpose, not wandering, confused, but moving as if he knew exactly where he was going. Camera captured him for 7 seconds. Then he walked out of frame, onto Euston Road, into sprawling London. And then, Andrew Gosden disappeared. Not gradually over days, but immediately, completely. CCTV cameras blanketing London somehow failed to pick him up on surrounding streets. Buses he could have boarded free, all with cameras, showed no sign of him. Tube stations near King's Cross monitoring every passenger had no record of a small boy in a Slipknot t-shirt. Shop security, traffic cameras, thousands of surveillance devices making London one of Earth's most watched cities, all somehow missed him. In perhaps 30 feet and less than 1 minute, Andrew Gosden walked from the most surveilled station in Britain into complete invisibility, as if he'd stepped through an invisible door into another dimension, leaving nothing but 7 seconds of footage and a mystery that would consume investigators for 17 years. Friday evening settled over the Gosden household with comfortable rhythms of week's end. Kevin home from work, wife preparing dinner, Charlotte finishing homework. Family friend who'd seen Andrew that morning joined them. Conversation flowed. Weekend plans, work discussions, ordinary exchanges. Someone asked where Andrew was. Immediate assumption. Cellar playing games, or upstairs doing homework. Andrew often retreated to private spaces. Charlotte went to call him. Cellar empty, PlayStation cold, bedroom empty, bed made, everything usual. She checked bathroom, checked downstairs again. Andrew's not here, she told her parents, voice carrying first edge of worry. Kevin's response, calm, rational, probably at a friend's house, lost track of time, would come through the door any minute, but something felt fundamentally wrong. Andrew never went anywhere without telling them. Never. Phone calls began systematically through Andrew's small circle. Each conversation, same devastating pattern. Is Andrew with you? No, haven't seen him. Then the detail transforming concern to panic. He wasn't at school today. Charlotte's voice rose with each call. Their son had left that morning in uniform, been seen walking toward bus stop, then vanished. Not only hadn't come home, never even attempted school. By 7 o'clock, every friend called. No one had seen Andrew since Thursday. Kevin dialed 999. Police response followed standard protocols. 2 officers arrived within 30 minutes, taking statements, establishing timeline, asking routine questions. When last seen? What wearing? Seem upset? Mention plans? Gosden's answered each, shock evident, confusion absolute. Andrew seemed completely normal Thursday evening. Watched television together, worked on puzzle, usual family dinner. No arguments, no distress, nothing suggesting within 12 hours their son would be gone. Within 3 hours, missing persons leaflet produced, distributing across Doncaster. Andrew's school photo printed alongside physical description and last seen clothing. Described as small for age, possibly looking 12 not 14, wearing Macaulay Catholic High School uniform. Officers fanned out, knocking doors, asking if anyone saw Andrew. Kevin and Charlotte, unable to sit waiting, drove Andrew's school route, checking every park and street, looking for any sign. Search continued through night. Friends and neighbors joined, walking Westfield Park with flashlights, checking behind buildings, calling Andrew's name into darkness. Autumn night cool and getting colder. Thought of Andrew out without coat, drove searchers forward despite exhaustion. By midnight, dozens involved. covering widening radius. Found nothing, no uniform, no bag, no sign Andrew had passed through. Saturday morning brought no breakthrough. Police searched bushes near Gosden home, looking for accident or struggle evidence. Nothing. Investigation expanded beyond local incident theory. Detectives interviewed family friend, who saw Andrew at 8:05. Confirmed. Appeared completely normal, walking usual pace, heading toward usual bus stop. Waved, he waved back. Last time anyone in Doncaster saw him. By Sunday, school phone call error discovered. Error revealed when police contacted Macaulay. Yes. Marked Andrew absent Friday. Yes. Called parents immediately. Yes. Left voicemail. But playing back Gosden's answering machine, no such message. Investigation revealed administrative error. Wrong family called. Voicemail to strangers confused by message about unknown child. Kevin and wife spent entire Friday believing son at school, unaware he never arrived. 10-hour gap between disappearance and parents' realization allowed trail to grow cold. 3 days after Andrew vanished, police made routine visit to Doncaster railway station, interviewed ticket sellers. Anyone remember selling ticket to teenage boy Friday morning? One clerk remembered immediately. Yes, sold ticket to young lad around 8:30, 9 o'clock. Boy wanted London, King's Cross specifically. Clerk offered return for 50 pence more. Boy insisted on one way only. Detail stuck. Who turns down return ticket costing essentially nothing more? Police showed Andrew's photo. Clerk confirmed without hesitation. That was him. Entire investigation pivoted. Andrew hadn't been victim of local accident or abduction. He deliberately, methodically purchased ticket to London, traveled there alone. Question transformed from, "Where is Andrew?" to, "Why did Andrew go to London, and what happened after arrival?" South Yorkshire Police immediately contacted British Transport Police in London, requesting urgent CCTV search from King's Cross, Friday, September 14th. Request came with time window. Doncaster train would have arrived around 11:20 a.m. Somewhere in footage, Andrew should appear. But King's Cross, one of Britain's busiest stations, thousands passing hourly. CCTV captured dozens of angles, producing hundreds of hours daily. Finding one small 14-year-old in that sea, like searching for specific sand grain on beach. British Transport Police assigned officers to review footage, but volume was overwhelming. Cameras captured crowds surging, clusters at information boards, streams exiting platforms. Every angle showed dozens in motion. Officers searched for hours, scanning crowd after crowd, looking for small figure in school uniform. Description Gosden's provided. Found nothing. Without specific time or location, picking one teenager from endless flow proved impossible. Gosden family couldn't wait for official channels. Traveled to London themselves, staying with relatives in Chislehurst and Sidcup where Andrew had visited many times. Initial theory: Andrew came to see family, got lost or disoriented. Kevin, wife, Charlotte walked streets around relatives' homes, handing flyers with Andrew's photo. Asked shopkeepers, pedestrians, "Have you seen this boy?" Visited places Andrew loved: Natural History Museum, Science Museum, British Museum. Left flyers, spoke to staff. "If you see him, please call." Free bus travel meant Andrew could have gone anywhere in London. Search vastness became apparent. 8 million people. Andrew, small for age, looked 12, wearing black like thousands of teenagers. How find one boy in that immensity? For 3 weeks, they searched, handed out flyers, spoke to anyone who would listen. No one remembered seeing Andrew. In city of 8 million, their son had vanished as if never existed. 3 weeks after Andrew vanished, British Transport Police found him on King's Cross CCTV. During second, more methodical review of cameras covering main concourse and exits. There. Camera positioned at main entrance. Small figure in black t-shirt walking through frame at 11:25 a.m. September 14th. Timestamp matched Doncaster train arrival. Clothing matched, not school uniform Gosden's assumed, but casual clothes. Black bag matched, slight, hunched posture matched. Everything matched except one detail. Gosden's assumed Andrew wore uniform when disappeared, because that's what he wore leaving house. But CCTV showed he'd changed clothes, suggesting premeditation, making disappearance more disturbing. Footage lasted 7 seconds. Andrew walked left to right across frame, moving through crowds, face partially visible in some frames, obscured in others. Expression when visible showed nothing remarkable. No distress, no excitement, no fear. Just neutral, slightly focused look, someone navigating crowded space with destination in mind. Walked out of frame toward main exit onto Euston Road. 7 seconds, then gone. Police distributed image immediately. Newspapers across Britain printed CCTV still on front pages. Television news broadcasted every bulletin. Missing persons websites featured it alongside physical description and close-up of distinctive right ear, with unusual double ridge. "Have you seen this boy?" appeals asked. National attention brought avalanche of responses. Within days, tips flooded police hotline. Someone saw boy matching description at Pizza Hut on Oxford Street same day he disappeared, hours after King's Cross footage. Restaurant 2.6 miles from station, hours walk. Feasible for Andrew. Witness certain, small boy with glasses, alone, looking out of place. Gosden family seized on this as most credible. Begged police to investigate, check security cameras, interview staff. Investigation never happened. Police classified it as one of dozens of unverified sightings, moved on. Sightings multiplied. Monday, September 17th. Multiple witnesses reported Andrew on Oxford Street. Tuesday, 18th. Someone reported teenager sleeping rough in Southwark Park. Wednesday, 19th. Witness claimed seeing Andrew getting off train at Mortlake Station, walking up Sheen Lane, now wearing warmer clothes. Each seemed plausible. Each contained specific details suggesting genuine observation. None could be verified. None produced evidence. Police follow-up minimal. October 17th. 1 month after Andrew vanished, woman in Covent Garden approached teenage boy. She'd seen news coverage, seen his photo dozens of times. Certain boy in front of her was Andrew Gosden. Asked directly, "Are you the missing boy? Are you Andrew?" Boy looked startled, shook head, said no, walked away quickly into crowds. Woman immediately contacted police. Police didn't interview her for 6 weeks, by which time memory faded, and any possibility of finding boy again evaporated. Within first year, 122 possible sightings reported across Britain, 45 from London, 11 from Brighton, rest scattered, Streatham, South Wales, Birkenhead, Plymouth. 2009. Witnesses reported seeing Andrew outside Natural History Museum in pub in Southend. Kevin Gosden later stated first week had 2 or 3 credible sightings based on specific details witnesses provided, but none properly investigated. None produced footage or additional witnesses. None led anywhere. Investigation into why Andrew went to London focused on events that day. Friday, September 14th, 2 bands playing evening concerts. 30 Seconds to Mars at Brixton Academy. Sick TH at Carling Academy. Sick TH show particularly significant. Farewell concert with original vocalist, originally scheduled July 7th, 4 p.m. but rescheduled. Carling Academy within walking distance of King's Cross. Andrew loved metal music, wore band shirts constantly. Theory seemed perfect fit. Mick Neville, retired head of Metropolitan Police Central Images Unit, publicly stated Sick TH theory plausible. Appealed for anyone who attended to come forward with photos or videos. Police had super recognizers who could identify faces in crowds with near-perfect accuracy. If Andrew attended, Neville believed they could find him in footage. No one came forward. No evidence Andrew even knew about concert, let alone planned to attend. Never mentioned Sick TH to family or friends. No ticket purchase traced. Theory remained exactly that, plausible but unproven. Police investigated whether Andrew went to meet someone encountered online. Despite family's insistence, he had no computer access. Seized computers from school and Doncaster library, conducting forensic analyses. Found nothing. No chat rooms, no forums, no emails, not single digital footprint. Sent PSP serial number to Sony Japan, asking if Andrew set up account or used internet capabilities. Sony's response: device never connected to internet, never registered account, never communicated with servers. Only computer in Gosden household, Charlotte's laptop, owned just 8 weeks before Andrew disappeared. Charlotte confirmed Andrew showed no interest. He just didn't seem social. Investigation hit wall. If Andrew met someone, meeting arranged through face-to-face contact, not online. But with whom? When? Where? No one could say. 14 months after Andrew vanished, November 2008, man walked into Leominster Police Station using intercom to speak with officer. Evening, reception unmanned. Man stated clearly, had information about Andrew Gosden. Officer asked him to wait, someone would come for statement. Man said he'd wait. Officer dispatched, 10-minute drive. Arrived. Man gone. No name, no contact, no indication what information had been. Police issued appeals. Man who visited Leominster with information about Andrew, please return. Weeks passed. No response. Then BBC featured Andrew's case on The One Show. Anonymous letter arrived. Writer claimed to be man from station. Provided details of alleged Shrewsbury sighting November 2008, over a year after disappearance. But letter anonymous, no way to verify identity or follow up. Police investigated Shrewsbury lead, found nothing. Mystery man never identified. Information never verified. Motives unclear. By 2011, 4 years gone, family hired private company for sonar search of River Thames using technology for locating bodies at sea. Search methodical, thorough, covering areas police theorized body might be. Located a body, not Andrew. Unrelated case, another tragedy. For Gosden's, another dead end. Kevin made unusual appeal November 2009, reaching out to gay community. We've wondered if Andrew was gay or struggling with sexual identity. Found it too awkward to raise. If he is gay, he is loved unconditionally. Based on statistics showing gay, lesbian teens significantly more likely to run away. Appeal produced no response. No information. No contact. Years accumulated. Age progressions released every anniversary. Andrew at 16, 18, 21, 25. Each showing how Andrew might look growing from teenager to young man. Each distributed to police forces across Britain, posted on missing persons websites internationally. Each representing another year Gosden spent not knowing if son alive or dead, chosen to leave or been taken. House on Littlemore Lane remained exactly as Andrew left it. Bedroom preserved, belongings untouched. Locks never changed. Andrew had his key. Parents refused to replace them because doing so would mean Andrew couldn't simply come home and let himself in. Small act of faith maintained across years, disappointments, every failed lead and false sighting. Andrew's bank account holding £14 after £200 withdrawal never accessed again. Police monitored continuously. Any transaction would trigger immediate alert, provide location, give them something to follow. Account remained frozen in time exactly as Andrew left it. £14 sitting untouched year after year. Financial monument to absence. December 8, 2021. 14 years, 2 months, 24 days since Andrew walked out of King's Cross and vanished. South Yorkshire Police executed 2 arrest warrants simultaneously. Man aged 38, man aged 45, both on suspicion of kidnapping and human trafficking. Older man faced additional charge, possession of indecent images of children. First arrests ever made in connection with Andrew Gosden case. For Gosden family, news arrived like lightning after years of empty sky. Police maintained silence for over a month. January 11, 2022. Public announcement confirming December arrests, revealing numerous electronic devices seized, sent for forensic examination. Statement warned, analyzing devices could take 6 months to 1 year, given volume and complexity. Kevin released statement thanking public, acknowledging family knew nothing beyond police disclosure. They were waiting like everyone else, hoping after 14 years some light might finally break through. Arrests generated immediate media attention. Organizations that covered Andrew's disappearance in 2007 returned to story, interviewing experts about breakthrough meaning, speculating how police identified suspects, wondering whether unsolvable case might finally reach resolution. But as weeks turned months with no additional information, initial excitement cooled. Forensic analysis continued behind closed doors. invisible to public and family desperately waiting. January 2023. 1 year after arrest announcement. South Yorkshire Police issued brief update confirming both men still under investigation, devices still under examination. Statement offered no timeline, no indication what evidence found, no hint whether charges would eventually be filed. Gosden's marked another anniversary, 16 years gone, still waiting to learn whether arrests would bring answers sought so long. July 2023. Andrew's 30th birthday, renewed media coverage. Multiple outlets ran retrospectives examining mystery, years of fruitless investigation, still unresolved arrests. During this coverage, South Yorkshire Police revealed crucial detail not previously disclosed. December 2021 arrests prompted by anonymous tip. Someone, somewhere, contacted police with information specific enough to identify 2 suspects. Tip credible enough to justify arrest warrants. But police refused to elaborate on what tip contained or who sent it. Revelation raised more questions than answered. Who knew something? Why wait 14 years? What information provided? September 2023. Nearly 2 years after arrests, 21 months after dramatic announcement, giving Gosden family first real hope in over a decade, South Yorkshire Police called press conference. Kevin and wife notified in advance. They sat in their living room where they first realized Andrew missing 16 years earlier, listened as police delivered news destroying fragile hope they'd been maintaining. Statement clear, definitive. After exhaustive forensic examination of all devices seized, after extensive interviews and investigation, after following every possible lead from anonymous tip, South Yorkshire Police concluded neither man had any connection to Andrew Gosden's disappearance. Both released without charge. Spokesperson stated with confidence, "We are satisfied the 2 men arrested played no part in Gosden's disappearance. Suspects completely eliminated from inquiry." News hit family like physical blow. 2 years waiting, 2 years cautious hope, 2 years imagining finally someone would be held accountable, someone would explain, someone would tell them where their son was, all collapsed in instant. Kevin released brief statement, thanking police, asking public to continue sharing information. But devastation was absolute. Arrests that seemed like breakthrough were nothing more than another dead end in case built entirely on dead ends. Anonymous tip that prompted arrests never explained. Police refused to disclose what information contained or why seemed credible enough to justify taking 2 men into custody, spending 2 years investigating. Tipster never came forward publicly. Entire episode disappeared back into mystery. Just another strange detail in case full of them. Just another false hope in 16-year string breaking Gosden family over and over. Elimination of suspects left investigators exactly where they'd been in 2007. With 7 seconds of CCTV showing Andrew walking out of King's Cross, with 122 unverified sightings, with theories about concerts and museums and secret meetings having no supporting evidence, with bank account never touched and house key never used. 16 years of investigation produced no body, no suspects, no credible evidence of what happened to 14-year-old boy who vanished into London crowds, as if stepping through invisible door into another dimension entirely. 17 years have passed since Andrew Gosden walked out of King's Cross Station at 11:25 a.m. on September 14, 2007. 17 years during which his family has existed in perpetual limbo, unable to mourn because no confirmation of death, unable to move forward because no resolution, unable to leave Doncaster because somewhere in back of minds lives impossible hope one day Andrew might simply come home. Locks on house remain unchanged. Andrew's key still out there somewhere, in his pocket if alive, buried with him if not, lost in unknown location if neither applies. Gosdens cannot change locks because doing so would mean acknowledging Andrew will never use key to let himself in, never walk through door again, never be found. Case remains officially open and active. South Yorkshire Police maintains file growing each year with new age progressions, new analyses of old evidence, new applications of emerging technology. Andrew's DNA registered in every major missing persons database in Britain and internationally. Dental records available to coroners across country for comparison with unidentified remains. Police conduct annual checks on John Does in hospitals, looking for men matching Andrew's description who might be living with amnesia or mental illness, preventing self-identification. Every few years, advances in facial recognition technology prompt re-examination of CCTV footage from September 14, 2007, and days following, searching for any trace of Andrew in London's surveillance network that might have been missed by human eyes. Bank account Andrew opened as child remains active, holding same £14 it held September 14, 2007. Police monitoring automatic and instantaneous. Any transaction anywhere in world would trigger immediate alerts to investigators. In 17 years, account never accessed. Not once. Not single withdrawal, not attempted transaction, not even balance inquiry from ATM. Money sits untouched, financial ghost, frozen in time like everything else connected to Andrew's disappearance. Theories persist and multiply. Most discussed remains sick-th concert theory. Andrew traveled to London specifically to attend farewell show at Carling Academy. Something went wrong, either at concert or on way there, or during journey home afterward. Mick Neville's suggestion, Regent's Canal near King's Cross, should be thoroughly searched, never fully implemented. Canal remains dark thread through theory, place where body could conceivably remain hidden years beneath murky water and accumulated debris. But dredging operations expensive and disruptive. Without specific evidence, authorities reluctant to undertake such effort based purely on speculation. Possibility Andrew went to London simply to visit museums remains plausible. Free bus travel meant Andrew could have traveled anywhere without spending £200. Perhaps planned to visit several museums, spend day immersed in science and natural history, return home evening. Perhaps something happened during innocent day trip, accident, chance encounter with someone malicious, moment of disorientation in unfamiliar neighborhood leading somewhere dangerous. Perhaps buried in anonymous location, remains never connected to missing boy from Doncaster because no one thought to look there. Theory Andrew went to meet someone arranged through means investigators never discovered continues to haunt investigation. Despite exhaustive digital forensics finding no online activity, possibility remains. Andrew made contact through face-to-face interaction. Perhaps someone from Lancaster University Summer Program 2006, year before disappearance. Perhaps someone connected to school whom investigators never identified. Perhaps someone encountered during family London trips who seemed friendly but harbored darker intentions. Without evidence of how contact made, theory remains pure speculation, impossible to prove or disprove. Most painful theory for Gosden's. Andrew chose to disappear, struggling with something. Sexual identity, future, pressures they didn't recognize, made decision to walk away and start fresh. Kevin's 2009 appeal to gay community acknowledged this with remarkable openness, making clear, if Andrew ran away, fearing their reaction was, and always would be, unconditional acceptance and love. But theory fails to explain why. If Andrew left voluntarily, never accessed bank account, never used passport, never spotted despite age progressions widely distributed, never sent even anonymous message letting family know he's alive. 17 years complete silence suggests something more sinister than voluntary disappearance. 2021 arrests and eventual collapse represent cruelest false hope Gosden family experienced. 2 years they waited, cautiously believing finally someone would be held accountable. Finally they'd learn what happened. Anonymous tip that prompted arrests remains unexplained. Police never disclosed what information contained or why seemed credible. Tipster's identity unknown. Entire episodes swallowed back into mystery, leaving only disappointment and bitter knowledge. Even leads promising enough to justify arrests can ultimately lead nowhere. Kevin and wife remain in-house on Littlemore Lane, now in 60s. Lives defined by son's absence. Cannot move because Andrew might come home. Cannot change locks because Andrew has key. Cannot truly grieve because don't know for certain Andrew is dead. Exist in permanent waiting state, scanning crowds for face that would now be 31 years old, watching news about unidentified remains found anywhere in Britain, hoping against diminishing hope somehow Someday, Andrew will walk through door, or call, or send message explaining everything. Charlotte, who discovered Andrew missing that Friday evening 17 years ago, has lived entire adult life in shadow of brother's disappearance. Complete panic she felt that night never fully subsided. Was last family member to see Andrew, last to speak with him before he walked out forever. That burden shapes everything that came after. She has own life now, own concerns, but Andrew's absence always there. Ghost at every gathering, empty chair at every table. Case became one of Britain's most baffling missing persons mysteries, studied by criminologists, featured in documentaries and podcasts, analyzed by internet detectives. Andrew's face, 14-year-old from original photo and various age progressions showing him at 16, 18, 21, 25, 30, seen by millions across Britain and internationally. Yet despite all attention, all theories and investigations and appeals, no one has come forward with credible information about what happened after Andrew walked out of King's Cross at 11:25 a.m., September 14, 2007. Question haunting investigators 17 years remains unanswered. Where did Andrew Gosden go? In city covered by thousands of CCTV cameras, how did small boy with distinctive glasses and black slipknot shirt simply vanish? Did he meet someone immediately after leaving station? Board bus with no functioning camera? Walk into building whose security footage never checked? Get into vehicle with someone who drove him away before any camera captured journey? Or did something happen so quickly, in such perfectly surveilled blind spot, no camera anywhere captured even fragment of it? 17 years of advancing technology, facial recognition scanning millions of images in seconds, social media platforms where photos from 2007 concerts and museums uploaded and shared, digital forensics recovering data from wiped devices, produced nothing. Anonymous 2021 tipster provided information compelling enough for arrests, but not solid enough for charges. Mystery only deepened with time, layers of confusion accumulating until original question, where is Andrew, seems almost impossible to answer. If Andrew is alive somewhere, he's now 31, would look nothing like school photo or even recent age progressions, would have needed to live 17 years without accessing bank account, without using passport, without contacting anyone from old life, would have needed new identity, work off books, avoid every system connecting to real name. Possible but statistically improbable. Most who disappear voluntarily make contact within days or weeks, unable to sustain isolation. If Andrew is deceased, body remained undiscovered despite police checking every unidentified remains in Britain against DNA and dental records. Would need to be buried or hidden in location so obscure 17 years of searching hasn't touched it. Or destroyed so thoroughly no identifiable remains exist. Both scenarios possible but require specific circumstances, planning, opportunity, luck, seeming inconsistent with random crime. Gosden family has no answers. They have theories and possibilities and maybes. They have 7 seconds of CCTV showing son walking out of station. They have 122 unverified sightings leading nowhere. They have age progressions showing man they've never met who might be their son. They have house key that might open front door if anyone ever tries it. They have bank account with £14 waiting. They have bedroom preserved for boy gone 17 years. They have hope that's been crushed and revived so many times it barely resembles hope anymore, just stubborn refusal to accept they'll never know. Andrew Gosden walked into nowhere. That's the only certainty. Somewhere between 7 seconds of CCTV showing him leaving King's Cross and 17 years that have passed since, he stepped into gap in world that never closed, never revealed what it swallowed. Boy who loved video games and metal music, who assembled jigsaw puzzles with father and watched comedy shows with mother, who was destined for Cambridge and never missed school, simply ceased to exist in any verifiable form. Where is Andrew Gosden? What do you think happened to Andrew Gosden? Do you believe he's still alive somewhere, living under a new identity? Was he meeting someone that day, and if so, who? Or did something darker happen in those first minutes after he left King's Cross Station? Something so quick and so perfect that not a single camera caught it. Share your theories in the comments below. And if this case affected you the way it affected me, Please subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. We cover cases like Andrew's, the unsolved mysteries, the questions without answers, the families still searching for truth. Every subscription helps us bring attention to these stories and keeps hope alive that someday, somehow, someone watching might have the information that finally brings these missing people home. Thank you for watching. And if you know anything at all, about Andrew Gosden, please don't stay silent. His family is still waiting for him to come home.